The first thing I noticed wasn't her face, it was her voice. Soft, steady, like a song you didn't know you remembered until it started playing again. "Are you doing all right, sir?" she asked, the same way someone might ask if you're really okay, not just fine. I turned around, and for a second, the world seemed to shrink. The hospital hallway, the hum of machines, the scent of sanitizer, it all blurred. Because standing right there, holding a clipboard and a half-wilted smile, was her. The nurse. The one who took care of me years ago, when I was a scared, angry 26-year-old, lying in a hospital bed, wondering if I'd ever walk again. Back then, I'd been in a car accident. My right leg was shattered, my confidence worse. I'd lost my job 2 weeks earlier, my girlfriend a month before that. I didn't just feel broken, I was broken, inside and out. And she, Nurse Emily, was assigned to me. Every morning, she'd come in with that same calm energy. She'd adjust my pillows, change my bandages, ask me about my pain level, and for some reason, she'd always smile, even when I snapped at her. "Why do you care?" I remember asking one day, when she tried to get me to do my physical therapy exercises. "You get paid to be here. That's it." She didn't get mad. Didn't even flinch. She just said, "You're right. But I choose to care. That part isn't in the paycheck." I didn't understand it then. But I never forgot it. Now, 10 years later, I was back in the same hospital, but this time, for my mom. She'd had a mild stroke, and I was pacing the hallway outside her room when I heard that familiar voice again. She looked older, maybe a few more lines near her eyes, but the warmth was the same. And when she recognized me, her eyes widened like she'd seen a ghost. "Daniel," she said, her hand flying to her chest. "I can't believe it. Look at you." I laughed. "Yeah. I got rid of the crutches eventually." She grinned, and then, after a quiet moment, she said the words that stopped me cold. "You were my favorite patient." I didn't know what to say. I wasn't exactly proud of how I'd acted back then, bitter, rude, hopeless. "Really?" I said, half laughing. "I thought I was your worst." She shook her head. "You were tough, sure. But you kept fighting. Even when you didn't realize it." She told me how she'd watched me go from refusing therapy to walking, slowly, painfully, across the rehab floor. "I remember the day you took your first step without help," she said. "You looked at me like you couldn't believe it was real." I smiled, remembering. "Yeah, you cried." She laughed, brushing away a tear now, just like she had back then. "Of course I did. It was one of those rare moments where you know you're doing something that matters." Later that evening, as I sat by my mother's bedside, I thought about how one person's kindness can quietly shape the rest of your life. Because after that accident, I didn't just learn to walk again, I start others. I became a physical therapist myself. And that choice, that whole path, began with a nurse who cared when she didn't have to. When my mom woke up, Emily came in to check her vitals. Mom smiled weakly at her and said, "He talks about a nurse who helped him walk again years ago." Emily looked at me, a glint in her eyes. "I've heard she was amazing," she said playfully. Mom chuckled. "Then it's nice that she's still around." Emily winked at me. "I guess some people are meant to meet twice." A few weeks later, when Mom was discharged, I found a note tucked inside her discharge papers. It wasn't signed. It just said, "Sometimes we don't realize the good we've done until it walks back into our lives. Thank you for reminding me why I became a nurse." I smiled, folded the note, and slipped it into my wallet. Because she was right. We don't always know the impact we have on people. But kindness, real, selfless kindness, has a way of echoing back, even years later. And now, whenever I help one of my own patients take that first shaky step, I tell them something she once told me. "You're right. I get paid to be here. But I choose to care. Kindness never expires. The smallest act of compassion can ripple across years, changing lives you may never realize you've touched.